we looked at a lib talking about love towards one's children. Now
What do you think?
Let's look at right-wingers. I mean, I don't know if the guest is a right-winger, but our favorite boy, our favorite cock of capital, Matt Walsh, baby. Okay, how to stay in love. Let us listen to relationship advice from, well, the definition of an undateable human being.
We'll start with women. We've talked about in general what spouses can do to keep their marriages to avoid having to visit you.
Yeah.
So what could a what,
This is the divorce guy, yeah.
what should women do specifically?
Sex. Yeah,
it?
it's just sex. Yeah, no, I hate to say it, but I think that's a huge piece.
Not just women, both. Why are we directing sex only to women? Why are we directing sex only to women? Sex to both partners. Why are we directing sex only to the woman? He hasn't washed the fucking sheets in 10 weeks. The whole kitchen smells like death because he didn't do the fucking dishes today. It smells like somebody fucking died in the apartment, man. He hasn't fucking shaved his ball sack in fucking 3 years. But woman, give more socks. Give more socks to man. Give more socks to man. You save family.
The most common thing I hear from men is that their wife stopped sleeping with them, stopped being intimate with them, playful with them in a sexual way. Like, there is a tremendous,
The definition of it takes two to play sex, okay? Or sometimes 3, 4, 5 people, whatever your fucking kink is. Let's hyper-focus on the woman not giving you pussy, not like the definition of the thing that it takes two to tango. The definition of the thing. No, it's about one of the two that's causing the problem. It's always both. You fucking. Oh, okay.
There is a tremendous, amount of before marriage. Women are very much more so than ever encouraged to be objects of desire and to, use their sexuality to entice a partner. And then there is a equal, if not heavier, opposite encouragement about, like, you don't owe your spouse sex. You're right, you don't. You don't owe your spouse sex. They don't owe you compliments or a kind word. Like, you don't really owe each other any of that. But why did you get married? Like, if you, this isn't about what you owe each other. This is about what gives this other person joy and inspires the best in them, and vice versa. And how can we do that? Because that same cycle of misery that people experience that lands in my office, which is, like, well, why should I sleep with him? He was working all the time this week. Well, why, she said, why should I, want to come home? When I come home, all she does is complains to me. Well, that cycle of misery, it can also go the other way. Like, just be kind to your spouse, be sweet to your spouse, be sensual to your spouse, all these lovely things that you were to each other when you were dating, when it wasn't like locked in and now, well, this is my person, I don't have to tend to this anymore. That's like saying, like, oh, well, this is my house, I don't have to take care of it anymore, I bought it already.
Yeah, but
you bought it. You invested in it.
Yeah, but that's the initial problem. If you marry someone or are in a very long-term committed relationship with someone where you treated sex as like a thing you gotta do, you fucked up from the get-go, my brother. If you look at sex as just like a thing you gotta do to keep the relationship going, you're not with the right person, or you're not working on it the right way.
It's yours. Like, treat it with respect and love, and like treat it like always be closing. Like, you should always be trying to like close the deal with your wife. Like, you're playing above the rim. She is too. Like, you're both lucky to have each other. So why wouldn't you treat each other like that? Like, why wouldn't you treat each other like, I've got this thing and it was loaned to me. It's not mine. I don't own it. It was a loan from God. It was a loan from the universe. And I get to continue every day to like have this person's affection and attention, and I want to treat them with that same affection and attention. So for men, a lot of them, it's sex. Yeah, they love, this is why prostitution is such a thing. It's why infidelity is such a thing. Sex is important. It's important to women too, but it is very important to men. And women?
Why you said beautiful, normal things. He said beautiful, normal things. But why is it more important to men? Where the fuck are you going? Because, as we all know, men are de facto the sexual animal, and the woman is there to like look pretty and to be conservative and not to give her vajayjay to anyone. But men need to fuck as much, like all the time. If you don't give me putang, that allows me to go and find putang somewhere out there. Why ruin a decent sentence?
In my experience, it's not that different. It's just attention and affection. You know, it's attention and affection. It's
Yeah, don't take each other for granted, right? Like both ways. Don't take each other for granted. Do nice things for each other, which include sex, but don't do sex just because you need to do sex. I feel like that's very wrong fucking advice. You need to want to have sex. Both ways again.
I'm trying to think of a cleaned up way to tell a story from my book, but there's a story in my book about when I was talking to a female client of mine, and I said to her, was there a moment where you knew your marriage was over? And she's talking about how there was a type of granola that she liked to put in her yogurt for breakfast, and it was only like sold at this one store. And she said how her husband used to always just get it for her. Like just when it would just about be empty, the bag, it would just be a full bag. And she's like,
And small things like this that completely change the game. Like this is like, okay, advice for all the 5 women in chat. And this is going to sound condescending, but it's really not. And it's not about the sandwich, okay? Fuck you. It's not about the sandwich. It's not about woman in kitchen. Listen to Bill Burr and the context in which he says it. It's about doing something for your partner. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying for the girls in chat, for everybody in chat. Doing like the smallest fucking thing, doesn't matter what it is. But doing something for your partner without them asking you to do it. Doing something for your partner without them asking you to do it. It's absolutely beautiful.
A woman happy, but I don't think they do it enough to help you guys out how to make a man happy, right? The great thing about men is we're fucking simple.
Fucking
so simple. Okay? So here's the thing right here. You want to make a guy happy? If you're with a good guy, okay, that's all you got to do, okay? How about 4 times a year? Once a season. You go out to the kitchen without him saying shit. You go out to the kitchen, you make a sandwich, you get him a beer, you walk out, you give it to him, you don't say a word, and you just fucking leave.
God, that makes you feel loved. That makes you feel so fucking loved. That makes you feel so fucking loved, man. You have no fucking idea.
That's all you got to do. Every 3 months, you do that, you'll keep them happy. That's all it takes. Now, I know right out of the gate, this is coming off sexist, right? It's because I'm saying go out in the kitchen, make your man a sandwich. I'm not saying women belong in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, rubbing my balls. I'm not saying that. Okay? I'm just saying women, go in the kitchen. Just go in the kitchen 4 times in a year. Make a sandwich. A toddler could do that. Just put it together. Grab 2 slices of pre-made, pre-sliced bread.
So good.
2 handfuls
Just
of
watch.
pre-murdered meat.
So good.
Put a little mustard on it. Grab a beer. Walk out. Just hand it to him. Don't say shit. And then fucking leave. And when I say leave, I mean leave. I don't mean walk into another room for like 10 minutes and then stick your head back and just be like, did you like it? Was it good? Great. Because downstairs, we need to, don't yell at me. I just made you a sandwich.
You see, this is like unironically, I can put capitalism into this conversation. It's not transactional. You do a good thing for your partner only for the sake of the good thing. Not because you want them to throw out the trash, because you want them to fix the car, because you want them to make you better food, because or whatever the fuck. Non-transactional, non-market mentality in our interpersonal relations. Fucking beautiful.
I don't mean that. I mean leave. Get in the car and fucking get out of here. Take the kids, drive down the street, go see Lord of the Rings a couple of times, and leave your man in the stunned silence of what you just did.
like just when it would just about be empty, the bag, her husband for breakfast. And it was only like sold at this one store. And she said how her husband used to always just get it for her. Like just when it would just about be empty, the bag.
By the way, we don't know if this guy's a fascist. I think he's not. Like, I think he's just a divorce lawyer. But his choice to come on this guy's show, I hope, is completely uninformed. His fucking agent told him, yo, go on this guy's show. It's like 2.8 million subscribers. I hope. But, you know. I can't help but judge the fact that, dude, you're on fucking transphobia, clarofascism, fucking Matt Walsh's account, my dude.
It would just be a full bag. And she's like,
He's a conservative, Hakeem, but South African, okay.
she's like, it always made me feel loved. Like, it always made me feel appreciated. That I didn't have to ask him. And that he didn't even ask for, like, credit for it. Like, oh, did you see I got you your granola? Like, it was just this thing he did. It was just like bringing in the trash or something. It was like something he did as just a sign. And she said one day the granola ran out. And she was like, I thought, well, maybe he's busy, he didn't notice or whatever. And then she sort of like left the bag in there, the empty bag, and he never replaced it. And she said, I thought to myself, is this thing like on its way out? And I remember finding that story like quite sad, because I thought, well, like there are those little things that we do for each other that somehow you just stop doing, and they're really...
Yeah, but maybe there was also something that she was constantly doing for him, and now she stopped. So he very consciously stopped doing a thing for her, which again is problematic because you're looking at it as a fucking transaction, god fucking damn it. But yeah, the original, him doing it without expecting anything in return, very, very beautiful. And it does kind of insinuate, if he has been doing it for a very long time and then stops, it does insinuate at least that the relationship is going in a different direction than the one you would want it to go in. But that doesn't mean you should immediately fucking break up or some stupid shit like that.
Really the thing that is so special and so important. And I said to her, is there anything you did for him? And she kind of blurted out an explicit act that she used to do with him pretty frequently and how she'd stopped. And I spit out my coffee across the courthouse waiting room.
So that stopped right around the time of the granola? There was a...
Yeah. She said, we used to like have a very physical relationship, and then, like with the kids, and we didn't have as much time, and, she's like, we used to like sometimes in the morning before he'd go off to work, I would just like have a little fun thing with him. And she said, and then it got to the point where I was like, well, we'll do it tonight when the kids are, and then we'll both enjoy it, and we'll both have fun. So, and then, sometimes like we'd be tired and it wouldn't happen or whatever. And she's like, I don't know why I stopped. Like, I don't know why I didn't just... She's like, it'd take like 5 minutes in the morning, and he'd be in a great mood all day, and he'd be texting me like, oh, this morning was so hot, it was so great. And she was like, yeah, that was my granola, I guess. Like, that was it was something that made him feel special. It made him feel valued. It made him feel seen. It made him feel like I was committed to him. And so, like, what if it's that simple? Like, what if it's that simple? What if it's just leaving your wife a note before you leave for work that says, I married the prettiest girl in the world. See you later. Like, what if it's...
Yes, but it loses if you're doing it because you're like, oh, men just want blowjobs and women want caring affection. So I will strategically do this every morning because that is how I keep this relationship going. It again becomes transactional. And the second it is transactional, the second you are doing something for your partner because you feel like their gender de facto expects this and this is what is going to allow the relationship to keep going, that loses all of the fucking charm. Like, all of it. You start treating your relationship as a fucking, business endeavor. No. So his solution is, what he's saying, what if it's that simple and we do it? And it very often is. But I just want to extend it and say, no, don't do it just because this is what is going to continue the relationship as like an active process. Do it because you care about this person and you want to do something nice for them. It's very different things. Very different. One is very mechanical, robotic, business-like almost. The other one is you fucking care about this person.
Just that. Like, yeah, there's no product you have to buy. Like, advertisers will never jump all over it because it's like not a thing, a course you could take or whatever. What if it's just pay attention, just be kind to this person, treat them with love, treat them like you're cheering for them. What if it's that simple? I don't know.
Min-maxing relationship.
I think it might be. From what I see, from the seat I'm in, watching these people just crush each other in courtrooms and tear apart their lives and the lives of their children, like, what if it's just granola? What if it's just little acts of kindness?
There's a YouTube video I saw years ago, and I can't remember who the guy was, but I think about it sometimes, before I was even married. But the guy was talking about, and I was never sure, it resonates with me a lot, and I don't know, I guess it resonates with marriages generally, but he was talking about the same issue. What can women do? What can men do, and what can women do to prevent the divorce? And one thing you said is that for women,
Wonderful.
Sex was the first thing you said.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing was taking your husband's goals and dreams seriously.
Yeah.
Taking him seriously and taking his goals in life.
What about the other way around? What if she doesn't want to stay home and just take care of the kids? Which is a perfectly legitimate thing to do in life, I'm not saying. Sorry to bring this up against fucking Matt Walsh, but what if it's the other way around? What if the woman
Wonderful.
wants
A new child
an
soldier.
equal level of
subscriber.
encouragement? Somehow I doubt that would click as well in Matt's brain, eh?
Seriously.
And cheering for him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, cheering for him. Like, I think a lot of men I know who are in happy marriages, and there's not a lot of them, but the ones that I know that are in happy marriages, like when you watch their wife watching them, when they're talking, it's like she's looking at him like just the most brilliant stuff is coming out of his mouth. Like, and there's just this sense of like, wow, like she's like,
Yeah, but then say brilliant stuff that comes out of your mouth. Like, women shouldn't pretend that you're saying something brilliant if you're not saying something fucking brilliant. And that's the funny thing. You can find somebody who thinks what you're saying is brilliant. That's called finding a partner that is compatible with you. But you want them to actually think it's brilliant. Not do it in a transactional manner where they think, men just, want to be patted on the back. And I'm going to keep patting him on the back or he's going to divorce me. That's fucking toxic female behavior. But what happens much more commonly is, obviously, I don't know why they're not bringing it up, men not supporting what women want to do and cheerleading for them in what they want to do and be happy about their professional successes. But no, she's just got to be a fucking oven for babies. Fucking piss those fucking shit babies out, man.
cheering for this guy. Like she believes in him, and that makes a man stand taller, I think when you talk to men who've had affairs.
Yeah, but not all men deserve to stand fucking tall, okay? Too many fucking short kings out there, but not physically. Motherfucker's dumb. Motherfucker's stupid. Girl isn't gonna be like, oh, but I was just said something smart. Well, you're not saying something smart. Whoa,
affairs, which I've had a lot of conversations with men who've had affairs. A lot of them say, like, I've had a couple clients who didn't even actually have sex with the person who they were having an affair with. They just solved some problems for them. I had a client who he had 3 women who he was like just helping them with like things, financial things, or like helping them figure out some problem that they had. And I was like, what? You really weren't sleeping with this person? And he was like, no, I never, He's like, I just wanted to feel like a hero. Like I wanted to feel like, he's like, there's something about to like a heterosexual man, like the feeling of a woman being like, you're my hero. Like, look at that. Like, look at.
Okay, going and helping different women, great, because you're a good human being. Going and helping different women because you want women to consider you a hero through a semi-sexual lens, like a platonic lens. What the fuck? My boy was confused that this guy was helping women, and he's like, you don't ask for pussy? You don't ask for fucking pussy, bro? Why don't you ask for some pussy? Helping other human beings? No. And when you hyperfixate, like I'm specifically helping women through the lens of, you know exactly what I'm going to say.
But come on. Why do you think we like to open the pickle jar? It's like, and it's just like, oh, and we're like, I did this. Like it's a real thing. So why, like maybe this is just part of being human, is that like maybe men, we just like that. We like to feel like we're a big, strong man. And so, okay, so humor me, humor me, throw me a bone with that. Like why not, what's that cost? Like what does it really cost to praise me when I open the pickle jar? What does it cost to tell your spouse they're beautiful, or that they're funny, or that they're smart, or that they're a great mom, or that whatever, that's just that you're happy that you picked them, that you'd still pick them. If you were still in a room with a bunch of people, they're still the one you'd pick. Like, what does it cost? Nothing. Costs nothing. And the dividends I think that can pay, anyone would acknowledge. Anyone. It's why when you say to...
The dividends that can pay, anyone would acknowledge. We continue to look at it as a market fucking transaction. Be extra nice to your spouse because it is going to yield the future profit, meaning your relationship will continue. It's the opposite of the advice I would give you. My advice is do absolutely everything that he just said, but because you want to. Not because it's some devious fucking strategy of keeping your relationship going. If you don't want to do these things organically, then what the fuck? Nobody can give you compliments about opening the pickle jar if you're not opening the fucking pickle jar. Absolutely applaud. Thank you very much for opening the pickle jar. You're fucking super strong. God bless. Okay, great. But do that because you just opened a fucking pickle jar and because he cares about you and you want some pickles. Not because you're thinking, oh, he's male, so I must stroke ego. Otherwise, male stupid. Unironically, that's sexist towards men. Literally. If you're doing it just because you think men de facto need their ego stroked and you want to continue the relationship because, I don't know, it's socially unacceptable to cut a long relationship or whatever.
Even the most unhappily married couple, tell me about when you met. They just soften completely. Like, you ever go to a dinner party and like, there's a couple that it's like maybe they got in a fight on the drive over. There's an iciness between them. If you just go like, oh, so tell me the story of how the two of you met. The whole thing, their whole demeanor changes because it takes them back to that time when they were seeing each other with the eyes of someone who like, I'm cheering for you and you're cheering for me and we're in this thing,
Yeah, cheering for you and cheering for me. Very fucking key aspect. I wonder why Walsh doesn't want to disrespect his guest and fucking bring up the cheering both ways. I wonder. I wonder. Okay, let's talk about fucking Drake.